Hi guys, so today's video I am going to be using these, which are nail guards, because I'm doing an acrylic set on myself today, but I want to be able to pop them off. I love my Macart peel off base coat, but I don't know if that would still pop off acrylic. So I'm trying these. They came in a box with some of my acrylics maybe a year or more, maybe a couple of years ago actually, and I'd never used them, so I thought, well, they're there, we'll give them a try. Weirdly enough, they actually seem like really thick sellotape. I know they're not, so that is not me telling you to go substitute a nail guard for sellotape. That's what they feel like. I've never used them before. The instructions just say to put on the nail and make sure it covers fully, or the acrylic will seep around it and still stick to your nail. So if any of you that are watching use nail guards, can you leave me a comment and let me know if I'm actually using them properly? Because it would be good to know. That one I've just peeled off because it didn't fit properly. So what I've done off camera is put a very thin layer of acrylic on, because on one of my nails, this one, the tip, I stuck my tips on top of the nail guards, and I'm just showing you there that it's lifted the nail guard away from my nail a little, which has resulted in the tip tipping up a little bit. So I've just put a very thin wash of clear acrylic on just to make sure that it stays where I want it, basically. And this is a quick look at what I'm using. So this is Pansy by Glitter Fairy, and there is a Spring Collection multi-cut. These are older glitters, so I'm not sure whether they'll still be on her website. And I'm using CJP acrylics. I'm showing you now in case I forget to put it down. This is Fantasy. That's a pinky nude, and it's a core powder, and the same as the Crystal Clear. Now, they're coloured powders, which I'm showing you next. That they're also strength powders, so you don't actually need to cap these, which is what I love about CJP's clear acrylic. So that was Blue Hue. This is Crazy, which is a beautiful lilac. Some of these have shimmer in and some don't, but they're just a group of pastels that I really like. This one's Tooth Fairy. This one is shimmery. I do another nail set. I don't think I filmed it. I think I have it on pictures of it though, and I will post it. This is Sunny Days, which is a yellow of a beautiful, kind of like a, I want to call it marbled, but it's really not. This is Apple Shine. That's my favourite green. Kind of like a marbled set of nails, but not. They kind of like just seep into each other colour-wise. I will post a picture of it. And that's using the exact same colours. So, what am I doing? Right, I have my 3D brush, and I just put a little dot of the pink on. I waited for it to go slightly matte and settle out, and then I'm just patting it into place as a cute little heart. And I'm just going to repeat that with one of every colour. Now, that one was a little watery. If you have too much monomer on your brush, you can also blot it off the back of the brush once you've picked up your bead on your kitchen roll. And I just shaped that one as well. Now, this didn't I'm voiceovering. I did talk while I was filming, but the video was longer than I thought it was, so I scrapped that. I fast forwarded it a little. This is a little sped up, and I'm voiceovering. So I put 2 beads on there, so the yellow one can start to set up a little while I'm faffing with the green one. Now this didn't entirely go to plan, because my original plan was to do hearts the size that are going to be on the next nail and make them taller off the nail. These are quite flat onto the nail. Make them taller off the nail. Then I was going to write on them. Then I was going to cap them and then file. smooth. But I got distracted and didn't do that. So this is just like a cute pastel heart set for Valentine's in acrylic. So I'm actually using a different medium for a change. I started off with acrylic, and then when I was trying to learn designs, some of them I found easier to do in gel polish rather than acrylic. So then I started filming more of my designs with the gel polish, and that just became a habit. But I thought it'd be nice to have a little something different on my channel every now and again, so it's not just gel polish designs, although I do plan to keep doing videos with tutorials on gel polish. Okay, these hearts I made bigger, so as you can see I've used 2 beads on these, and I've actually found this way I actually found a lot easier to do my hearts than the 1 bead and splitting it that I did for the smaller ones. So I take one and then move it into a teardrop shape, although this one's a bad example to show you with because the next bead I put on is a little dry, as you can see. So I just add a little monomer to that and then pull that in. But that was an easier way to do the hearts, by the way. It's in 2 beads rather than 1. But as I was saying, yeah, I'd like to have, so there's always something a little bit different on my channel. So rather than the gel polish tutorials only, which I will still be doing because I'm really enjoying the nail art tutorials and really enjoying learning new things and showing you how they go as I'm doing them. But every now and again it'd be nice to have an acrylic set on there, or a hard gel set, which is what I did with the January birthstone nails. Now this is the Fantasy. This is a pink core powder. This is one of my favourites with CJP. My absolute favourite is Cherry Blossom Blush. Now, normally you wouldn't do your acrylic this thin. I am just doing a very thin wash of it because I plan to ombre some glitter up it, and then I'll be encapsulating it anyway. So this is just there for that nude, healthy coloured background. What I like about CJP's acrylics, I don't know if I've already said this in the voiceover or if I said this when I was originally doing it, so I apologise if I'm repeating myself. But what I like about their acrylics is your core powders, obviously they'd never need encapsulating unless it's a glitter core. But their coloured powders as well are strength powders, so you actually don't need to encapsulate the coloured powders. You know, like the ones I've been doing the hearts with, you could do your full nails with them and you wouldn't need to cap them. They do have some that come with literally a little hat, like a little baseball hat on them. That just means those ones actually need capping. They are design powders, but there's not a lot of those compared to the other colours. So I've just got a very tiny drop of acrylic, but I left quite a lot of monomer in my brush, so it's quite wet, and that gives me the ability to keep moving the glitter around, and it keeps the acrylic nice and wet, which is how you want it when you're moving it, because I don't want to build height. Is that the right word? Maybe. I don't want to build it, I don't want it looking chunky. Now, there was too much glitter over there. It wasn't as spread out as I wanted it, so I just wiped a bit of that off. And by keeping that monomer in my brush, it meant my acrylic stayed wet and it didn't dry too quickly. Because I'm having this, as you can see, in a very thin layer. Because then when it comes to capping, it stops my nails becoming really, really chunky. And it stops me accidentally filing completely through the clear and into the glitter when I'm wanting to remove some of the bulk. So I'm just giving myself a healthy nail bed colour again with the Fantasy. And this one is going to have both glitters on this one. So just a nice thin wash. A good tip as well, if you are applying glitters and you're not going to have a colour under, like I haven't on the bottom of this one. So if you have similar colours or even matching, that's even better. You say like, I have a nail set I did. I will find a picture of it and post it up hopefully. But I put a very super fine dark green glitter down, and then I added the chunky glitter on top, and because they're matching, it meant that you couldn't see the patches between the chunky glitters. It all kind of, you know, worked together. There was no empty patches. If you were just using chunky glitter, you would have to spend a long time moving them or add layer after layer, so you didn't get any clear patches in there where you don't want them. So if you're just using a chunky or a multi even as well, try and have a contrasting, no, is it contrasting? I don't know. Try and have the same colour or a very similar colour underneath to help elevate it a bit. Now I am just filling in the gaps with some more acrylic and the glitter. And if I had had sense, I would have put a wash of that on first and then gone in with my hearts. Instead, I just got so excited I went straight in with the hearts, which means I'm now having to dot my glitter around it after the fact. But I get distracted easy and forget things, so if I've got an idea in my head, I'm best off just going straight for it, because you can guarantee in like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I won't even remember my original idea anyway. So we're just going to go through and cap these. Now, it doesn't really show very well on camera, but when you're capping, your glitter turns matte because the acrylic is covering it. And that's a good way to see where you have capped and where you haven't. It helps you see if you've missed bits, because your uncapped glitter will still be really, really shiny, but your capped glitter will look slightly duller, especially as the acrylic dries. And it helps you see which glitter is close to the surface or which needs a bit more acrylic over it, to prevent you just filing into that glitter when you are refining your shape and filing afterwards. This is quite a summery, springy set actually. It's lovely colours. They're perfect for spring, Easter, summer, especially if you don't want to deal with the neons that have been out the past couple of years. I quite like these pastel-y colours. They only ended up coming out because I'd popped out to the shops this morning, and okay, it is quite nippy, but the sun is really, really bright. It's brilliant blue sky. Looking out the window, you'd actually think it is the middle of summer. So I decided to have some nice colourful nails. So I am leaving this bit in to show you, and I'm going in with my favourite nail files. The Tornado files for shaping, and these buffer files I find perfect for around the cuticle area because they don't cut the client. They're nice and smooth. But I do not finish filing on camera because, as you will see in a minute, I do believe, as I'm filing, the sticky stuff, the nail guards start to pop the nails off. So that's me trying to hold it in place as I'm going, but they still keep coming loose, and it ends up just popping straight off, as you can see. I do keep trying to keep going with the other ones, but it just isn't really working. So I do end up just, I didn't even realise I was so out of shot there. I do just end up popping them off and filing them off camera. And then I have popped them back on with the, you know, the sticky glue tabs you get from Shein and Temu and stuff, like with press-on nails. I've stuck them back on with that so you can see, but because I had to file them off my nail, they are now no longer flush to my cuticle and there's little bits missing. where they'd filed in, so they don't really look as neat anymore. But they are on there, and at least I know that the nail guards work. Because when I started, I was worrying about them actually popping off, or if they were just, you know, not going to work and I was going to have to force them off. But as it is, they work fantastic for you putting the acrylic on, or tips or anything else like that. The problem is filing the nails. The problem is filing the nails because they obviously popped off, which has left me with quite rough areas around the cuticle and things, which is a shame. But you live and you learn. And today's lesson was that nail guards are good, but crappy for filing on. Lesson learned. But I will be picking up some more because it means that I can practice my acrylics and not worry about having them stuck on my nails. Because I am that weirdo nail tech that really enjoys doing nails, love experimenting, love playing with nail stuff. Don't necessarily like wearing them. Look at that. I really do love that glitter. It's a mix of everything that's on my nails, and it couldn't have been more perfect when I was looking through them to find one to go with it. I did think about adding some gems and some decorations on the top, but in the end I just decided to leave them as they were because I couldn't quite decide what to put on them. So there we go with all the sparkle. So if you have watched all the way through, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed seeing something different on my channel. They are not exactly to plan, but I still think they're cute. If you haven't already, please leave me a like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you can see when I have new videos out, which will usually be Tuesday, Thursday, and sometimes on a Sunday if I have time. I have a mix of videos on my channel, from nail art tutorials through to gel through to acrylic. So there is a little bit of everything for everybody, hopefully. And thank you very much for watching, guys. I will have more for you soon.